Good morning, everyone. This is Teacher Joy, and welcome to our seminar workshop in playing DAMATH game. So let's start. So bear with me until this presentation ends. So let's start. How to play the familiar game DAMATH. So first, let us start with the board, the DAMATH board. So here are the numbers for the DAMATH board. We have 0, 1 to 7, and then 0, 1 to 7. So the four corners of this DAMATH board have numbered 0, 1 to 7 from the top, down, 0, 1 to 7. On the right side, 0, 1 to 7. And on the left side, we have 0, 1 to 7. Then, we have the following mathematical operations. We have times, divide, plus, and minus. So here, let us complete this board. There, and that. So this DAMATH board is applicable for grade 7, integer DAMATH, grade 8, rational DAMATH, grade 9, radical DAMATH. And for grade 10, so the top and then the right numbers are changed, and it is the same here for the left and then the down numbers. So 0, 1 to 7, 0, 1 to 7, and then 0, 1 to 7, and 0, 1 to 7. So let's take a look on the DAMATH manual. So basically, the rules in playing the Filipino checkerboard game called Dhamma will be used with some modifications in integrating mathematics and sciences as follows. So for grade 7, we have the integer Dhammath. For grade 8, the rational Dhammath. The radical Dhammath for grade 9. And the last one, the polynomial Dhammath for grade 10. Here are the starting chips for the integer Dhammath. So let's start the position for integer Dhammath. So here, negative 9, negative 6, or 6 rather, negative 1, 4, 0, negative 3, 10, negative 7, negative 11, 8, negative 5, and 2. For the red chip, the same position as the blue chip. So, the standard color for the chip for a DAMATH game is the red and blue. So, here is the starting position for the integer DAMATH for grade 7. Next one, for the grade 8, the rational DAMATH, we have starting position of the chips, negative 9 over 10, 6 over 10, negative 1 over 10, 4 over 10, 0, negative 3 over 10, 10 over 10, negative 7 over 10, negative 11 over 10, 8 over 10, negative 5 over 10, and the last one, 2 over 10. Same with the red chip here. Next one, we have the radical Dhamma. So radical Dhamma, negative 9 square root of 2, negative square root of 8, 4 the square root of 18, 4 square root of 16, negative 49 square root of 8, negative 25 square root of 18, 36 square root of 32, 64 square root of 2, negative 121 the square root of 18, negative 81 the square root of 2, 100 square root of 2, 144 square root of 8. Then, the same position for the red chip. For the polynomial Dhamma, so here, as you can see, the numberings in the board or the checkerboard is changed. So the starting position, we have negative 3x squared y, negative xy squared, 6x, 10y, negative 21xy squared, negative 15x, 28y, 36x squared y, negative 55x, negative 45y, 66x squared y, and 78x xy squared. Same with the red chips. So after the starting position of the chips has been set, so the player is determined by drawing lots. The first player will occupy the side of the DAMATH board where 00 is located. A chip is allowed to move diagonally forward only to an adjoining vacant square. So blue move to 03, red move to 3, 4. So blue move to 4, 3, then red move to 7, 4. So a chip has to take the opponent's chip diagonally forward or backward. Thus, pass is not allowed. So mathematical operations such as plus, minus, times, divide will be used depending on the vacant square operation symbol where the taker chip lands by jumping over the taken chip. So the latter chip has to be removed from the board after performing the indicated mathematical operations and recording in the same time in the score sheet. So here, for example, blue moved to 2, 3, and then red moved to 3, 4. And then blue takes red, so blue times red. And then red takes blue, that is red minus blue. So red divided by blue. Then another red divided by blue. Blue moves to 6, 3. And then red takes blue, so red minus blue. Blue moves to 6, 3. Red takes blue divided by blue. So in taking a chip of more than one chip, the taker chip is always the addend, min-win, multiplicand, or dividend as the case may be. Blue minus red, blue plus red, blue divided by red. So in taking a chip or more than one chip, the Dhamma rules on the Dhamma, mayor dalawa or tatlo, mayor tatlo over dalawa, mayor Dhamma, and mayor dalawa or tatlo over Dhamma prevails. So major dalawa, for example, this one. Blue chip takes 2 red compared to a blue chip takes 1 red. Mayor dalawa. Blue plus red, and then another is blue times red. Next one, mayor tatlo. So the blue chip takes 3 red chip compared to the blue takes only 1 chip. So blue plus red, blue times red, then blue plus red. Mayor tatlo over dalawa. Here. So it takes, the blue one takes 3 chips rather than the blue one takes 2 chips. So blue plus red, blue times red, and blue plus red. So Mayor Dhamma, that's it. And then blue Dhamma takes red, or red, or the blue Dhamma minus red. Mayor Dhamma, so Mayor Dhamma here. Blue Dhamma minus red, and then blue Dhamma divided by red. So comparing here, Mayor Dhamma, the Dhamma takes the 2 red chip compared to a blue chip that takes 2. But this blue is not a Dhamma but a regular chip. So, mayor dalawa over Dhamma. So here, a blue chip or regular chip takes two red chips compared to a Dhamma take one chip. Blue times red, and then blue plus red. Mayor tatlo over Dhamma. So here, a regular blue chip takes three red chip compared to a Dhamma that takes only one chip, red chip. So blue plus red, then blue times red, and blue plus. So mayor tatlo over Dhamma taking dalawa. Here. So 3, the regular blue chip takes 3 compared to Idama, which takes 2 chip only. So a blue takes red, blue plus red, blue another red. So blue takes red, blue times red. Then another, we have blue plus red. So when two Dhamma chips takes the same number of chips, so it's up to the player to decide which to move. For example, here, two blue Dhammas. So it can take two red chips, both. So it's up for the player to decide which Dhamma or which move he or she going to take. So blue Dhamma minus red, or blue Dhamma divided by red, or it can be blue Dhamma times red, and then blue Dhamma plus. Next one, mayor tatlo over dalawa. Here, a Dhamma takes 3 chips, blue Dhamma plus red, blue Dhamma times red, then blue Dhamma plus red. A chip is declared as Dhamma upon reaching terminally on the following designated squares. So for blue chips, we have designated squared 0, 7, 2, 7, 4, 7, and 6. For red chip, we have the designated squares 1, 0, 3, 0, 5, 0, and 7, 0. So those are the Dhamma area, where the code is said to be Dhamma if it lands on the following designated squares. Here. Then blue divided by red. Red plus blue, and then red minus blue. So here is the Dhamma for blue, and then this is a Dhamma for red. So situations where a chip is not declared as Dhamma. For example, here, it is not declared as Dhamma. Another, here. So a Dhamma chip is allowed to move any unoccupied square along its diagonal path. However, it can only pass through its diagonal path once and could no longer return to its original position when taking chips. So here. For example, it can take a chip or more than one chip. So for example, blue Dhamma times red, and then blue Dhamma times red, another blue Dhamma divided by red, or blue Dhamma plus red. or blue Dhamma times, and then blue Dhamma divided by red. Blue Dhamma times red. Moreover, a Dhamma's score is doubled in taking a chip or chips. If a regular chip is taken by a Dhamma, the score will be doubled. So 2 times blue Dhamma times red. Then another 2 times blue Dhamma times red, or blue Dhamma minus red times 2. So Dhamma's score is quadrupled if it takes the opponent's Dhamma chip. So if Dhamma to Dhamma, the score is multiplied by 4. So 4 times blue Dhamma multiplied by red Dhamma. Then another, similarly, an ordinary chip's score is doubled if it takes a Dhamma chip. For example, this red chip takes the blue Dhamma. So the score is doubled, so 2 times red plus blue Dhamma. Then red times blue. So let us study the writing entities in the score sheet. How do we write the entries in the score sheet? So this is the score sheet. We have player A, player B, and then we have the column for move, score, and then total. Scores shall be entered in the score sheet according to the game being played. So first one, the integer Dhamma. So how do we play? So -9 move 0, 3 here. Then for red chip, -1 move to 1, 4. Then -9 takes -1. So here, -9 plus -1, you have a score of 10, a total of -10. Then, after the blue one moved, the red one also moved. So it takes -9. So 10 plus -9, that is the score is 1, and then the total score is 1. Another, then another. So as you can see, the scores is added. For example, your first score is -10, and then another you scored 8. -10 minus 8, that is 2. So -2 plus 6, that your current score now is -8. So for example, there. Then, if a Dhamma chip takes a regular chip, the score is double. So here, -5 times 10, that is -50 times 2, that is -100, added to the previous score, which is -15. So the score now is what? -100. Next one, a Dhamma chip takes another Dhamma. So the score is quadruple. So 6 plus 4, that is 10. So 10 times 4 is equal to 40. Added to the previous score, which is 62, that is the total, we have 102. So a regular chip takes a Dhamma, the score is double. So in total of the score, the remaining chip will be added, and then who gets the highest score or greater score wins. So for rational Dhamma, we have the same. Move, score, total. Here, one move for each player, one for blue and then one for red. Alternate. So, Dhamma. So, a Dhamma takes a regular chip. The score is double. A Dhamma takes a Dhamma. The score is quadruple. So, remaining chip, you add all your remaining chip, add in the score, we have the total, and then the grand total. So, total, negative 36 for the total of the player red, 2.3. So, add all remaining chips to the total score to get the grand total. Remaining Dhamma chips corresponding value is doubled. The player with greater score wins. Next one, we have the radical Dhamma. So here, the same. Negative 9 square root of 2 move to 5, 6, 5, 4. Then, negative 4 square root of 18 takes negative 9 square root of 2. The score is negative 4 square over 3. Total, negative 4 over 3. So there. A Dhamma takes a regular. The score is double. And then a Dhamma takes another Dhamma. The score is quadruple. Same rule, add all the remaining chips and then to get the grand total. So remaining Dhamma chips corresponding value is doubled. The player with greater score wins. For polynomial Dhamma, we have also same. So we substitute the values for x and 1. So here is your x and then this is your y values. So this is your y values and then this is your x values. There you go. Another. Then uh, a Dhamma takes a regular chip. The score is double. And then a Dhamma takes another Dhamma. The score is quadruple. So whosoever gained the highest score will be declared as the winner. So we have the following rules in playing Dhamma. So the first one, the use of calculator is allowed. So using a calculator is allowed in playing Dhamma. Next, a move, example 25, move to 6-3 is good only at the most for 1 minute, including its corresponding entries in the score sheets, while the game's duration is 20 minutes. It will be responsibility of the arbiter to remind the player to make a move and write entries in the score sheet. This will be done 10 seconds before 1 minute of the time frame. In case of a player did not finish writing the entries in the score sheet after 1 minute, the time will be stopped by the arbiter. This is to give the player time to finish writing in the score sheet. The extra time is exclusive of 20-minute game duration. A player may consume the whole minute in taking a chip, and writing the entries in the score sheet. So a player is required to take chips when there is still time left or the remaining seconds of the 20-minute game duration. So the game ends when any of the following situations occur. So if no show of the player is declared after 10 minutes. Next, repetitive moves of any of the both players. Next one, a player resigns or refuses to move. A player's chip is cornered. Then a player has no more chip to move. Another, the 20-minute game duration ended. So only one score sheet is allowed to be accomplished and alternately by the two players whereby incorrect entries shall be their responsibility. In case of the incorrect entries in the score sheet, a player has to immediately call the attention of the competition facilitator by raising one's hand. That is, after stopping the time, as determined by the said facilitator, the appropriate corrections will be done by earring players in as much as the former's decision is final and unappealable. The time spent in correcting the entries is exclusive of the 20-minute game duration. Score sheets will be reviewed by a panel of reviewers. Corrections will be done to the wrong entries which were not checked during the game. So example of repetitive moves of any of the both players here and then another. Next one, we have a player's chip is cornered. And then a player has no more chip to move. So that's all. That is the last slide for this presentation. Thank you very much for listening and have a good day. Goodbye.